you've got to know when to walk away. I walked away from a £10,000 job last Friday. Big is not always better. Just because the job you've been asked to quote has a huge price tag, it's a massive building, does not mean it's going to have a healthy net profit. Stop chasing the massive jobs, particularly commercial, because a lot of the time, the bigger the job, the bigger the headache, the more hoops you've got to jump through to get it. And at the end of the day, after 12 months, it'll be put out to tender again and you'll probably lose it. So my experience is I tend to stick to the smaller jobs, the medium to large domestics, with a much healthier net profit, less moving parts, less things that can go wrong, no documentation to produce. Remember, when you go and price up these big jobs, they're going to want risk assessments, method statements. They're going to want, obviously you're going to have all your liability cover, but they're going to want various bits and pieces, and they're going to ask you to jump through a number of hoops just to be able to set up on site. And like I've just said, a lot of the time, these big jobs, they're put out to tender every 12 months or so. So you've got to re-tender for this job, and you're probably going to lose it. A lot of the time, they just want a cheap job done. A company to come in there, bash it out for peanuts and piss off. So what I'm saying is, don't be lured or flattered. Don't be flattered when a big company asks you to go in and quote their premises. Sometimes it may be pretty good. It may be a good one. It may be worth going to have a look. It may be worth taking on if it's open-ended, and you can get it on a good price. Access is good. They're good payers, and they're not asking you to produce blood to get the bloody job, right? So sometimes the bigger jobs are worth taking on, but in my experience, they're not. They're a pain in the bloody ass. Too many moving parts, lots of things that can go wrong. So I tend to steer away from the bigger jobs. And also, another thing is, when we all start, you want this, you've got this grand idea in your head that you want 10 vans out there, you want 20 subcontractors marauding across the countryside, up cherry pickers, on cradles, bosun's chairs. You want to be seen everywhere. Again, massive headache. Me personally, I like to keep the outfit really small. So when you have a small window cleaning business, you can generally outmaneuver the big boys. Your response times are quicker. You haven't got the headache of having hundreds of staff out there. So you've got hand-picked handful of staff that you've personally trained, so they do a fantastic job and you can trust them. You can put them on any job and that it's going to be a fantastic job done. When you've got a big corporation, you don't know who's going to be turning up on the job, how long they've worked for the company. So generally speaking, that's another massive advantage of being a very small company. You can outmaneuver the big boys, and you will 9 times out of 10 do a much better job because your staff are handpicked and trained personally by you. So the customer knows what they're getting. So small is definitely the way to go. As long as you're generating a healthy net profit, it doesn't matter what you're cleaning, really. That's the key, and lots of people think that big is beautiful and big is the way, big is a profit. It's not. Might be a big turnover, but the net profit might even be fucking zero because you've got so much kit to put on the job, so much red tape to jump through. What's the point? You might as well just stick to your medium to large houses. You know what you're doing. It's a simple job. Less things can go wrong, and you can see the profit. You can see that it's got a healthy fucking hell. You can see that it's got a healthy profit. And let's be honest, you know, with a very small business such as mine, tiny business really, it still generates a very healthy profit. So it's, the key is the profit, the bottom line, and how much you can then put into your investments. That is the key. It doesn't matter a fuck how big the job is you're doing. It's all down to your bottom line. That's what it's all down to. That's what all business is down to. You're taking a job in the service industry or a product in the retail industry. You're selling that product, or you're providing a service. It costs you that much to provide the service. The customer will give you that much for providing a service. Take your costs off of that. There's your net profit. You can generate a healthy net profit where you can see the profit. When you've got a huge job with lots of moving parts, sometimes it's very difficult to see the profit. But with a very small, manageable client base of buildings that you can easily bang out, no headaches, that's the way forward. That's the way forward. Small and profitable. That is where you want to be. Small and profitable. What a lovely sunny day. This is bloody October the 18th, and beautiful sunny Friday afternoon again. I've just had a lovely day out in the Meon Valley. Yeah, it's been nice today. Been nice. But yeah, this is an important point to get across about targeting your marketplace. And like I said, years gone by, I've been the same. I've been like, yeah, Billy Big Bollocks, let's chase the fucking big jobs. I'm gonna look fantastic with my name all over these huge units, people rocking up, vans everywhere. Right, brilliant. Makes no difference. It makes no difference. You know, it may look spectacular, but nah. Frazzle your nervous system and kick the arse out your net profit. You don't need the big jobs. Try to keep it to medium to large domestics or small commercial, and as opposed to growing your business the size of Apple. You know, me personally, my advice, stay small with a massive degree of flexibility, so that you've got good customer service, and that, you know, you'll pick up so much work by being small, flexible, and you've got a very quick response time to queries and getting out and sorting the job out. So small, in my eyes, small is better. Small is beautiful. Big, pain in the arse. Big jobs, pain in the arse. Big business, pain in the arse. So don't be tempted to go big. Don't be tempted and lured in by the offer of cleaning the windows on a large premises. Stick to what you can easily manage with a healthy bottom line. And that way you're going to build up a huge client base of reciprocal customers, and you're not constantly chasing that big job that's going to be put out to tender in 12 months and you'll bloody lose it anyway. So you're constantly then chasing the next big job to fill that void, because that's another problem when you get a big job. If you get a big job, I mean, I'll give you an example. Last Friday, you've got to know when to walk away. I walked away from a £10,000 job last Friday. It was a cladding clean on a factory unit. Now, cladding cleans are really profitable if they're generally smooth cladding and access is open. You haven't got vehicles everywhere. This one, big building, corrugated. It was big ridges on the surface of the unit, and there was cars everywhere. So she sent me pictures, and I thought, no, I'm gonna have to have a look at this. So I went down to have a look. I drove up. My gut feeling before I even went there was, it's too problematic, but I had to satisfy my curiosity. So I literally rocked up. I actually parked up and got my kit off, and I washed a bit of the corrugated surface of the unit just to see how it'd come up. And it did come up good, but mate, it was so vast And I just looked at it and I thought, this is going to be a real headache. And I just walked away from it. 10 grand. So know when to walk away. Don't be lured in, even if you're starting out. You know, at first you're going to be flattered. Oh my word, they've called me. They want me. They don't want you. They want any knob that's prepared to fucking do it. That's what they want. And like I've just said, it doesn't matter what you're cleaning as long as you're making a healthy profit. Yeah? So if you've got a massive industrial unit that's £10,000 to clean, but it's costing you about 7.5 grand in labour and plant and machinery and kit you've got to get on site, and what the fuck? What's the point? If you can go and do that one job that's going to, you know, also how long is it going to take you? You know, you're giving them a price. So difficult to price massive jobs as well. Not easy. You know, even me, 40 years in it, pricing up little jobs going right up through, I rocked up to that 10 grand job and I looked at it and I thought, fuck me. It makes you think and you start questioning yourself. When you walk up to something like a normal building or a normal size industrial unit, you can go, yeah, one day, 2 blokes, £500. You look at a UPVC washdown on a house, 3-bedroom, semi-detached house, yeah, 125 quid UPVC washdown. You know, it's bread and butter. You do it all day long. So, you know, the small jobs are much easier to quote and much easier to see where the profit is. You know, you can see there's nothing draining the profit out of the job. It's you, your van, and your wash system. That's it. You, your time, and the magic water in the back of your van. You get a huge contract, and it's like umpteen moving parts. So that's my opinion. You guys might be out there thinking, nah, he don't know what he's on about. This is fantastic. But okay, you crack on. You stay in that market. Also, I find the commercial market is much more volatile. You know, you're dealing in commercial premises where the businesses are folding up, starting up, folding up, starting up. You're dealing in houses where people have lived there 50, 60 years sometimes. You know, you've got continuity within your reciprocal. That's the key, reciprocal, when you're there month in, month out. You know, you haven't got to chase the next job. So these people have lived in these houses 40, 50, 60 years. They ain't going nowhere, are they? Till they're carried out in a box. You get a business, you go on an industrial estate, businesses are popping up, going pop, disappearing, coming back. You know, it's a very volatile market, the commercial market. So, you know, I don't chase commercial work. If it comes to me, I'll sift through it and I'll only take something that I know is going to be absolutely spot on. So I won't be lured in by the size of it and how fantastic it will look if we're cleaning that, you know. Anyway, I'm off now. I'm going to go home. Well, actually, I'm not going home. I'm going to go to the pet shop, get me bird seed, feed me birds, and go out Waitrose, get me Financial Times, see what's happening in the world of finance. Kebab night tonight. Friday night, kebab night. Tomorrow night, I'll cook a bit of sea bass. Sunday, I'm going to do a roast chicken. But yeah, Friday night, kebab night. I'm getting a bit bored of kebab, actually. But how can you get bored? Fucking hell, how can you get bored of kebab? I don't know. But I've got bored of kebab. So I might not have a kebab tonight. Anyway, I'm off. Have a good weekend, and I will speak to you next week. Bulliet.